Is that the game, another aspect of the game that we need to also talk about is, I often speak about unification with your true self. Yeah, the power within you. And once you recognize that, you also recognize the divinity in others. So essentially, we are one thing having one human experience, right? I often talk about the fact that you shouldn't, you should free the hostages, don't lash out at other people, don't judge, don't persecute, because you're effectively interacting with a mirror, yeah? Although it might not appear to you as yourself, because you're looking at it from one layer, which is the physical. But when you drill a few layers deep, yeah, strip away the physical suit, strip away the skeletal suit, the muscles, all the rest of it, blah, 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 you get to a point where there is a common denominator between you and the thing that you are fighting, yeah? So it's in essence, you're fighting yourself, yeah? I don't have the word to describe it besides you using yourself, yeah? Because it's you, it's one consciousness, one unified consciousness, which is just fractalized itself. But one thing I've started to realize, which is really, really important, and I think we all need to really think about this actually, is the notion that you realize that the game we're in, yeah, this game called life, which feels linear and stretched out, but it's not that. It's just a simulation, yeah? And every day is Groundhog Day. Whether you want to convince yourself or whatever, it doesn't really matter, yeah? Your body's changing, your experience is changing, your awareness is changing, because that's what you are, yeah? It's one day and it's just one simulation, and you're reliving it all the time with different variables, yeah? Think what you want. It doesn't really matter. But the point is, because the human is living in separation, yeah? And thinking from the separatist perspective, yeah, that energy has to go somewhere, yeah, that energy of me and me, they're over there pushing the other way and all the rest of it, it has to go somewhere, because you are God in flesh. So whatever you think, yeah, you project onto the silver screen and you make it real, yeah. So when you look around you, yeah, what is the one thing, especially in the West, yeah, like, what's one thing that you can say has been pushed over or has been really evident, or has been really kind of like dominating the public consciousness? It's separation. Whether you want to admit it or not, separation, yeah, has become a massive thing, the massive elephant in the room, yeah, in the world we live in, yeah. It began with the mobile phone, social media, and your profile, you separate yourself from everybody. You have your own little website, your own, which is separate on the micro scale. And it even bled into the community, yeah. And we started to see things like self-service checkouts in the bank, and all the rest of it, yeah. Okay, they used, when I say they, it's the counterpart, yeah, the reflection, used other systems and things to also push this separation. One big example being the fucking comedy show we had in 2020, where we had to sorry, I can't talk about that stuff without laughing. It's sorry, let me focus. Okay, so separation has been the agenda, yeah, because most people are living in separation, yeah. With the erosion of the community, yeah, the oneness, yeah, there was a time when, because one of my first jobs when I was 17 was I used to work in a shop, and there was a real sense of community, yeah. The old ladies used to come in, we knew them by names and they knew us, and when this person didn't even come in, they were checking on you. Some of them even knew our birthdays, and they'll come in, and you knew the guy that would come in the mornings, you knew the people that came in the afternoons and evenings, and it was like a real community thing, Christmas time, people even gave people gifts and stuff. It was a real sense of community. We spoke to each other and stuff like that. That's gone and has been replaced by robots and self-service checkouts, right? So the conversations that we would have had have disappeared. Yeah, it's the same with banks and stuff like that. Now there's a whole issue with loneliness, right? What is loneliness? Is because people are living in separation. Yeah, people are living in ego. That separation that people are living in from the ego state has to reflect somewhere. I keep telling you, we are energy. Whatever we do, the energy has to go somewhere. It can't just dissipate into nothingness. Yeah, this simulation, this experience called life is self-contained. Yeah, it's self-contained. There used to be a time where we used to rent movies and share with each other. Yeah, oh, I just saw this movie. We lend stuff we lend things to our friends, CDs and stuff like that. Now we have streaming. Yeah, so with streaming and stuff like that, it's even removed that whole thing. Yeah, of us even sharing our intimate, the intimate parts of our own experience. A song that really resonates with you, I'll download it, I'll burn it for my friend, like, oh, here's a mix I made for you, or whatever. Like, all those things show the oneness of us as a collective. Because all those things have been eroded, and we see in the 3D all these systems and structures in place that are removing, oneness, it's removing oneness. Oh, no, social distancing, no, do this by yourself, no, just talk to yourself, no, get AI girlfriend, a robot girlfriend, you get an AI boyfriend, you don't need to, just talk to your phone, have conversations with your phone instead. Like, all these things are encouraging separation because we are living in separation. Okay, let's assume I'm just talking crap. I don't ever talk crap, but let's assume I'm talking crap. Where do you think this agenda came from? Where do you think it came from? Bear in mind that art, science, creativity always imitates life. So where do you think this agenda came from? We live in separation. We're going to experience separation in the wider world we live in. You go to the shop, it's all self-service checkouts and stuff like this. And, like, you can't, there isn't even an opportunity to even have a chat. Back along you go. There was even that you're in the queue, even being in the queue, right? Even allows you to even have a conversation. Yeah. The human touch is gone. Separation. I hope you can see it because it's obvious. It's really obvious. Even the fact that your mobile phone has your own tailored algorithm, that means your ecosystem of information that you have is separate from the entire world. Whereas there used to be a time that we all used to have the same information. So there were talking points, we could share that information. Oh, did you hear about this? Blah, blah, blah. There was a time, but now all that stuff is gone. And, even with the erosion of community, which is the erosion of oneness, because community is one. Like, let me tell you something. When I was a kid, right, and I lived in Africa, the one thing I realized was having a sense of community was actually a way for the community to always heal itself. Yeah, it was almost like we were our own therapists. We were our own psychologists. We were our own doctors and friends. Like, because everybody spoke to everybody, everybody knew everybody, right? If, say, for instance, somebody was going off the rails, right, it would spread through the neighborhood, and the older guys would pull the young guy and speak to him. If a girl was going off the rails, the older girls would see it because it would spread, the information would spread in the community, and they'll pull and, fix it. This couple were having a drama, we fixed ourselves because of that oneness. And I'm not saying this as if it's some unique thing to Africa. It used to be a thing actually even in Europe, if you don't know the history. Europe used to have a very strong sense of community in so many parts, so many areas. Like, the Europe you see now is not Europe. It's a joke. It's like it's an illusion world we live in right now. And what's that creating? It's creating a generation of atomized people that have no sense of community. They are like, it's almost like they are isolated, yeah, in this world. They have nobody. Mental health is destroying people because they have no backbone. They have no community to fall back on. All those things have been, is gone. Because what is happening is this. Let me fix my dentures. In a metaphysical sense, yeah, if we live in separation, we will destroy ourselves. I've told you this, yeah. If we live in separation, we'll destroy ourselves. It echoes back in the 3D, which means that if we live in separation, we will destroy ourselves. We will literally make ourselves extinct. And if you look at the world on the 3D screen, we are heading towards extinction. Extinction doesn't necessarily mean we're going to drop bombs on ourselves and kill ourselves, which is possible, but it might just express itself as we will just stop procreating because we just don't have any, humans wouldn't even know how to interact with the humans anymore. I mean, look at most people think that OnlyFans is reality. People think porn is reality. People think having an AI girlfriend is reality. Yeah. People think sex toys is reality. People think that social media is reality, right? But these things are not reality. You're literally interacting with a robot. Like, this is some Total Recall shit. Yeah. It's no different from a metaphysical standpoint. Yeah. Thinking that, you know, I'm gonna not interact with people, yeah, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to, you know, get up, you know, get one over him and her, playing all these games, right? When you do that, you are literally destroying your experience and the other's experience, right? And it echoes on the 3D, and that's what we're realizing, bro. That's what we are seeing. If I'm lying, tell me. If my position doesn't make sense, please tell me. There used to be a time when people used to get together and talk. Whether it was at the you know, women will find, whether it was something to do with their hobbies or something, they would all congregate and talk. They would talk. Men will get together and talk. What do we have now? Instead of those spaces existing, they're gone. They don't get public funding because people are living in separation anyway. So the echo is there, right? So naturally on the 3D, it will reflect as there's no spaces for people to do that anymore. People are isolated, and the spaces where men and women get to talk, they don't actually talk. They end up fucking arguing with each other over stupid shit like their dicks and fucking pussies, bro, and sex and fucking dumb shit like that. Can you see how living in separation has far wider implications, yeah, than you think? Metaphysics is still physics at the end of the day. Physics is a study of the physical reality. When I say turn off social media, I'm not saying turn off social media for any other reason, but to say, hey, come back to physicality, come back to your true essence, you know, leave that artificial shit alone, come back to who you are. If we were to have like some sort of chart of the average person, how much time they spend in the virtual world versus how much time they spend in nature, it would scare you. So naturally, there will be an echo of that, isn't it? Of course there will be. Because you're already living in separation. You're generating that energy every single second. You're pumping your energy into that structure every single second. I keep telling you that the AI's job, yeah, and the CPU's job, yeah, and what appears to you as your adversaries, yeah, the systems, the structures, the quote unquote, the bad guys and the people that are destroying the world. Their job is very, very simple, yeah, because we need to evolve, yeah, and we need to evolve by overcoming our separation. from each other and the idea of separation itself. We need to evolve from the world of the physical and get into the world of the spirit, because we are spirit having a physical experience. Yeah. That is the task. Yeah. If we don't overcome that, the game starts to degenerate. Yeah. Because then what appears to you as the bad guys, it's not bad guys anyway, because it's because we're in that frequency, we are multiplying the effects of it. Yeah. They will it's almost like they keep generating more and more and more and more things. Yeah. That are bringing about more and more and more of that separation, which inevitably will lead to our demise. So it's like we are running out of time in the game, and we are running out of options in the game, and the game is collapsing around ourselves. And it's not because anybody else did it, it's because we did it, because we forgot to evolve and ascend the physical state. We forgot to ascend separation. Once again, if I am talking crap, where is this agenda come from? Where could it possibly have come from? Because think about it, right? Even on something so basic as the removal of, like, people in the shops and stuff like that, right? And bringing in robotic, self-checkouts in the banks and stuff like that, right? That in itself, yeah, contracts the economy, yeah, because that could have been people could have had jobs there. That could have, it would give people, purchasing power, which will allow them to be able to, provide for themselves and live their own lives. And, it will help them to do the things they want to do, maybe start families, have a girlfriend, have a relationship, and expand, and kids, and do you see? So even those opportunities are being taken away by the idea of this separatist agenda. Social media does the same thing, because you're always chasing a high. You think that your life's not good enough. You think that, the women are not good enough, or this, but you're always chasing something. There's always something else. So you're never quite at that point where you're like, okay, cool. Now this is my mark. I'm going to now begin living life. So you're actually not living at all. You're just isolated and just consuming information. This is the facts, bro. There's also another thing I need to add. It's like the system, yeah? Call it the reality screen, yeah? The CPU, the AI interface, will keep pushing us towards even more separation, yeah? Under the guise of convenience, yeah? Under the guise of, convenience and ease and shit like that, right? Because why has the process of life disappeared? Why is everything done at warp speed? Like, what happened to actually going to the bank and doing business in the bank? Why do I need to do it? Why do I need to do it from my phone? Like 24/7? Like, there's a reason why the bank was created in the first place, and it's, people then have jobs and there's a structure in place there. Yeah. So then there is a time and place to transact. Do you understand? So it's almost like this illusion of convenience invades more of your life. Yeah. It's a trick. And then you end up actually being more being separated more, but then you end up even giving it more energy and being more attached to it, right? Look, try and lose your phone, yeah, and see how complicated it is to even do banking. Whereas if you lost your passport, or you lost your phone, or whatever it is, you could just go to the bank with your passport or your ID, and you can resolve issues there and then. So all these things are just illusions. They are more illusions to create even more separation. Oh, have an AI, girlfriend, because, men and women, so just have an AI bot, and, she will learn you. She's now you can program her to do this and that. Like, it appears like it's convenience, but it's not convenience. It's actually super dangerous. How are you as consciousness in human form giving your love and attention, these creative energies, yeah, to a robot, and you go to bed with it every night? It's no different. It's no different it's no different than a person who's got an image of a fucking porn person on their wall, and they masturbate wildly to it every single night, yeah, and they're physically attached to that person. What would you say about that person? That person's not living in the real world. They are completely off. They're gone. Degenerate. And the outcome of that is that degeneracy echoes into the wider screen, and it degenerates the whole life experience for all of us. It's like we are corroding ourselves into extinction, bro. Tell me I'm lying, bro. Tell me I'm lying, bro. There's loads more examples, bro. Even your cars. Oh, you know, your car driverless, you know, bro. Like, driving itself is an experience. Like, you know, when we drive, we actually have a subtle communication with other drivers, you know, the wink, the wave, the, oh, you know, you know, I'm checking for you, you're checking for me, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's all part of it, you know. We get to have conversations with our friends or whatever, and, you know, you can listen to your music, and now it's not even taken out of your hands, or in the name of convenience, but it's completely cutting you off the actual life experience, bro. Separation, more atomization. Ask yourself the question, where is this agenda coming from? Why does Tesla want to give you a human robot to be your servant in your house? It'll do everything for you, and then what next? Are we going to get to a point where you don't even have to wake up yourself from your bed? We have a bed that picks you up, carries you downstairs to the bathroom, and washes you, and showers you, brushes your teeth, does everything, does all your emails, everything, programs everything. At that point, stop and think for 1 second and ask yourself, are you a human being, or are you actually a living zombie? And at that point, are you actually alive, or are you just dead? Anybody that's selling you convenience in exchange for separation, yeah, is killing you. It's the road to hell. Bro, I'm just telling you the facts, man.